Hey lovelies, so I'm not sure about you, but I have a whole bunch of embossing plates that I don't think I've ever used. I think I may have used one or two in the past, and honestly it's been a long time since I have used any of these. And I thought today we might try something a little different. I thought we'd see how we go with using these on a gel plate. So I wanted to try something a little different. And basically we're going to use them like stamps. We're going to try and stamp with the embossing plates onto the gel plate and see what kind of impression we get. So let's give it a go. So I've got some of my Dilutions paints out, and I've got, see look, most of them are still in the packets. I haven't used them in so long, and they've just been sitting over there, and I thought, why not? You know, it would be a good idea. Always look at your stash and see what else you can do with it, right? That is my motto, and that is what I like to try and do. I try and get as much out of my stash as I can. And that, you know, another way is to use. Alright, so I've got my brayer, I've got my clean off book. If you haven't seen this before, basically this is just an old kid's storybook that I clean off my stencils and my brayer in. It's not my idea. Not taking the credit for it. This is something I saw on Instagram a while back, and it's just a way that, you know, nothing goes to waste. So I open up to a clear page and just leave that there, and basically all I do is I clean off my brayer and my stencils and all sorts of things on there. So yeah, always good to have that nearby, that way nothing goes to waste. Alright, so spreading out my paint. Alright, so let's go with, let's open some of these, shall we? So I haven't tested this out beforehand, so I don't even know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a go. So with an embossing plate, well, generally it's got two, one's raised and one's indented. So I'm going to use the raised side, and we're going to see what kind of impression we get. Alright, let's have a look. So I think it's going to work. And I'm just clearing off my embossing plate onto my book over here. And when I get some prints happening, I might even use it as a stamp to stamp on my prints. Alright, so being that this is our first one, I'm going to pull that up and see what happens. So let's have a look. Fingers crossed that this has worked. And look at that, it has. So, new way to use your tools. Now I might pull this up as well, just because I want to see if I can get any more definition with that embossing plate. And we all know ghost images are so much fun. So let's pull that up. Alright, so let's add some more colour. We'll go again, shall we? Out over, and because I've used just a light layer of paint, you can still see some of that jade that's on there as well, and it should give us a nice impression. The only downside to filming during the day is those planes, so what I was saying is it should give us a nice colour variation. So again, finding the side I want to use, and we're just going to, this one I'm just going to place. And I'm going to use over here and see if I can get a stamped image out of it as well. Not quite, but we'll see. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Alright. Hey lovelies, so it was around about here that my children came in and decided to stick around for the remainder of the video, and there's lots of chatting and talking, and yeah, I thought it would just be better to speed this all up and do a voiceover. So I pretty much just do obviously different versions of what I showed you in the beginning of this video, and Will also helps out with a few colour combinations as well. So I really enjoyed this project yesterday. It was a lot of fun and it worked exactly as I'd hoped. Now, I'm still using my embossing plates. I've actually got a video coming up tomorrow of an art journal page I did because it's so addictive and so much fun. I ended up with some really great prints, both from using the embossing plate on the gel press and then also using it as a stamp as well. I ended up with some fantastic images that, yeah, this is something I could definitely get behind. Now, we know how addicted I am to my gel plate, but yeah, finding new tools to use and new things to make impressions on my gel plate, very, very addictive. So I think this print here is one of my absolute favorites. I love how that turned up, and that is a ghost pull of the circles in the blue on top of one of my green layers. So building the layers is half the fun when it comes to making gel prints, I think, and being able to layer these images and that, oh, so much fun. So I think this was a colour scheme suggested by the monkey. There he is there. He decided to stick around for the rest of the video. So yeah, we spend a lot of time chatting, and he wanted to know all about the gel plate. So I was explaining to him a bit at the same time as trying to keep up a commentary for my video with you guys. Yeah, it didn't work. So that's why I decided to just, voice over the rest of this video. So we spend a lot of time trying out new embossing folders. Some I found I could use the top and the bottom of the plate because of the pattern that was on them. It gave an impression on both, whereas how I explained at the beginning of the video with embossing folders, one is usually an indent and one is raised, and that's how you get your embossed look. But especially the circles, because they are circles, there's raised parts on both, so yeah, that made a really nice impression as well. Some worked better than others, but honestly I think that's more a paint coverage thing than an impression. As with any gel plate session, they all turn out differently, and it all goes, depends on how much paint you put down, what kind of paint you put down, how many lifts you do, things like that. This turned out to be one of my absolute favorites, and it's not necessarily the image I pull off, it's the image I get when I stamp the embossing folder. So obviously these colors mixed a little too much. I thought at first, I thought I'd overdone it when I used my brayer to spread the color, but we went with it because there's no mistakes in art. And then I used this swirl embossing folder, and oh my goodness, I was so excited by this. This red image over here, now this is one that I pulled up before that was really dark. When I put the blue and pink swirl on it, it just turned out beautifully. It's such an amazing print, and I would definitely show you pictures of close-ups of that at the end of the video. So yeah, see what I mean by, even though I had set out to do gel, testing these out on my gel plate, also working out that they worked beautifully to transfer the paint to other prints as well. So that is what I love most about gel printing. You learn something new, things turn out differently than you expect, and you end up with some really beautiful images. So yeah, lots of fun. Now this is where Will decided he wanted to have a turn. He chose the colours and he wanted to spread it out with the brayer. So Will loves art time with Mum. He loves being out in the art room just as much as I do, hence why he stuck around for the entire video and why we had to change our original plan. But yeah, he chose the colours, he mixed them together, he really wanted to play with the brayer, he was very excited for that. And then he picked a plate. I think he picked one that looks a bit like a firework, and yeah, we went to work, and he loved this process. It's the first time he's seen me use my gel plate, and he had a lot of fun. I have to admit, I do enjoy sharing my arting obsession with the little munchkin. So that's going to be it for this video. I will show you close-up pictures of the prints that we pulled. This was just basically just a play. I just wanted to have a play and see if this would actually work. So stay tuned come back for tomorrow's video where I do an art journal page using these these techniques and this process. Would love it if you've enjoyed this video to give us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber to see many more arty videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with a new video. Bye for now.